Today, we're going to talk about my best love, relationship, and dating advice. And I may sound like a broken record on here because I tend to repeat really the most essential advice that I can give you um, because it's the truth. So I'm going to start with that, okay? If you know anything about me, if you've been on my page for any amount of time, you know that no bullshit, no fluff. Let's just get to the root cause, the root reason, so that we can transform it forever. So that's really what I'm going to start with. The best advice I can give anyone for love, dating, and relationships is this: be willing to self-reflect. Be willing to look inwards within yourself, your own thoughts, your own perceptions, your beliefs, your attitude of mind about yourself, and then about your ex or your current partner. Why? Because therein lies the problem and the solution. Meaning, we attract to us relationships, partners, people that we date. We attract to us, in essence, what we desire most. And so some of you listening might be like, no, Melanie. No, I attract narcissists. I attract assholes. I attract people who treat me badly. There's no part of me that desires that. I hear you, because I used to think the same thing. So hear me out and listen, because there is a deeper, hence what I love to teach, deeper, no bullshit, deeper reason as to why this is. So if you think about this, what you desire most is what you focus on, what you think about over and over again, what you allow to ruminate, if you will, in your own mind. Nobody has power over you to do this to you. It is you. It is only and ever and always you, your thoughts, that you always have the freedom to change. So examine. This is the best advice you will ever get for really for all aspects of your life, but we're talking about love, dating, and relationships, okay? Examine what are your consistent, constant thoughts, beliefs, perceptions, attitudes of mind. Be willing to examine what is going on in your own head. And don't lie to yourself and say, well, I only think this way because of such and such and so and so. I only think this way, Melanie, because, on social media, this is what the statistics say. And I would ask you, is that what you want? Do you want that? Because what you believe, what you perceive, is what you desire, and you must experience it. So you must start examining your own mind. You must be willing to just notice with innocent awareness. Don't make yourself bad or wrong. Don't judge yourself, but just pure innocence, like this zoomed out perspective. Zoom out at any moment, even right now, as you're listening to me. Hit pause. What am I thinking about? What are my thoughts? You probably had a combination of thoughts listening to me. I'm going to call bullshit on this, Melanie, and there might be some truth here. I don't know. Only you know. But you have to have the courage. There's nothing to fear, okay? And any thought that you've ever had never has had the power or the potential to hurt you. It's only the story or the value, if you will, that you give it. So be willing to sit with it innocently. Just noticing. Again, not judging yourself, just noticing. What's there? Write it down. Write it down. Grab a paper and a pencil or a pen or even in your Google Docs. It doesn't matter. In your notes in your iPhone, doesn't matter. But write it down. Notice. Examine your own mind. That's the most important thing, okay? And then be willing with whatever is there. Ask yourself, do these thoughts, do these perceptions, do these beliefs, do these attitudes of mind, even though my eyes might tell me that is my reality, okay? Stay with me. Do they serve my greater good? Is this more of what I want to experience? As an example, there's no good men out there. There's no good women out there. There's feminists have taken over. I don't want to be with the boss babe. Women are too masculine. Men are too wimpy. Men are too passive. All men are toxic. It doesn't matter what it is. Whatever it is that you keep telling yourself and you keep believing about men, women, relationships, yourself, you might even be saying, it doesn't matter. I have to settle. Like, I'm a freaking loser anyway. I'm not good enough. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not young enough. I'm not hot enough. I don't have enough money. I don't have the best body. I'm overweight. I'm underweight. I'm too old. I'm too young. Again, it matters not what you tell yourself. It only matters if you ask yourself, does this serve my greater good? Does this thought that I keep practicing, does this belief, does this attitude of mind, does it serve who I want to be, what kind of partner I want to attract? Does it help me get there? Is it an empowering thought or is it a disempowering thought? And then be willing to change it. Because the power that is you, that is how God made you, you can never change this. You can never not desire. You can never not create. And your words, your thoughts, your perceptions, your attitudes of mind, good, bad, right, wrong, make no difference, must manifest. They must. Think about anything in your life. Think about this microphone. Think about this screen. Think about this art. Think about this blouse. Think about the chair. Think about anything that is in your life or anything that you see here. It was first a thought in someone's mind, was it not? It was first a desire in someone's mind. First a thought, then a desire. And then it turned into a thing. Well, how? By them consistently, constantly nurturing and nourishing and thinking and desiring that thing, that outcome. Your thoughts, your desires, your perceptions, your beliefs are no different. They do indeed create what you would call your reality, what your five senses would tell you, what you see, hear, taste, touch, smell. So be willing to examine your own mind, okay? The most important advice you will ever get, and then be willing to change it. Another thing is be willing to see the gifts in your ex-lovers. Otherwise, you'll carry the baggage, the angst, the anger, the jealousy, whatever the negative thoughts of they did me wrong in some way, shape, or form. You'll carry that into the new relationship. So you want to see the gifts. Who did you become as part of that relationship? What did they help you to see, to understand, to be that is actually has brought you to a better version of you? Maybe the relationship was so toxic and inside of your mind, you were like, huh, why am I here? Why do I stay here? I see red flags and I don't even leave. I just keep taking it. What is wrong with me? Why do I endure this kind of relationship when I should know better, right? In that, something happened along the way where a switch got turned on or off, however you want to look at it. And there was a part of you at some point that was like, I'm done. No more of this. I have had enough. And then you probably may have taken a period of time in which you were like, I don't even want to be in another relationship. I need to be alone for a little while. I need to clear my head. Maybe you started working on yourself. Maybe you went to therapy. Maybe you hired a coach like me. Maybe you started watching these videos. Maybe that's what's happening for you right now. But something changed. Maybe when you were in it, it didn't feel like it was for your greater good. But if you could use your hindsight and actually reflect back without being angry, without being jaded, with just seeing it with pure, innocent eyes, just noticing, not making him right or her right or you wrong or him wrong, none of that. Just noticing. What were the gifts for me in this? I probably became a better lover. I probably became a better partner. I became a better version of me. See the gifts. And then bless that person and let them go. They were a sacred gift, whether you realize it or not. Some of our most, dare I say, tumultuous, what feels like most toxic, most heartbreaking, heart-wrenching relationships that end badly, as an example, are our greatest teachers, our greatest gifts, because without them, we would not have had the courage or what feels like within ourselves, I can't do this any longer. Something has to change, which then kind of shoved us in the right direction in order to start to self-reflect, in order to start to examine our own choices, our own decisions. In essence, how did I even get here? Right? How did I even get here? What made me even choose this person? And why did I stay in it without, again, beating yourself up or judging yourself? Because that never, ever, ever helps. But more so, again, innocent awareness. Okay. The next best love dating relationship advice that I want to share with you is accept people for who they are. Accept people for who they show you they are. Meaning, often we will see the potential in a lover, in a potential partner. We will see the project in them. We love to do this to ourselves, okay? It's like our savior complex, okay? But it doesn't ever serve your greater good. So we will see, oh my God, they would be so great if only they had this or they did this. And we have like a couple different things, right? How would you actually like it if your potential mate thought, oh, he or she would be so great if only they had this or they were like this? You wouldn't like that. You would be like, well, screw you. Like, if you don't love me for who I am, I don't want you to be in my life anyway. So think about that when you are thinking about getting into a relationship with somebody, when you first start dating them. You have to be willing to accept them for exactly who they are and love those parts of them. If you do not love them for who they are, exactly as they are, and any kind of perceived flaws, although I would have you examine that thought process too. But if you cannot love them and do not love them and accept them, most importantly, for who they are, exactly as they are right now, then down the road, you will actually start to harbor resentment for those things that you actually were unwilling to accept, right? Makes complete sense, does it not? And then you will make them bad or wrong for it, even though all along you had the eyes to see it. You just didn't want to notice it. You didn't want to accept it. You were so maybe in lust with the potential that this is something that we say to ourselves. We say to ourselves, oh, but I can change him. I can change her. They'll be better. Like, they'll be different for me. How many times do we lie to ourselves about that, right? So accept them right now for who they are, for who they show you they are also. If they're ghosting you, that's a pattern. If they are inconsistent with attention, affection, connection, like it might feel like hot and heavy some days and other days silence. Notice it. Again, don't make them bad or wrong. Don't make yourself bad or wrong. Make a kind of mental note to yourself, this pattern. Notice it. It's different if it just shows up once, right? But if you see it, a pattern is something that happens 2 or more times. Let's just make it really clear, really easy. If you see something that bothers you, that's a pattern. You see it in the consistency or the inconsistency of the potential partner when you're dating, when you're in a relationship. Notice it. Again, don't make them bad or wrong. Don't judge them. It's not about you being bad or wrong or any of that, or right, for that matter, too. But notice if it bothers you, if it's a deal killer now, then it'll be a deal killer later. If it bothers you now, it's going to only bother you more later. So either be willing to have a conversation about it, speaking with love, speaking with respect, speaking with kindness about the truth of something that does bother you, or be also willing to walk away if it is not something that you are willing and able and want to accept, right? Like a really good example, somebody who is inconsistent with their behavior, who's inconsistent with their attention, with their connection. It kind of feels hot and heavy one day, and then like you don't exist another day, as an example, right? You don't want to be in a relationship with somebody like that. They're basically emotionally unavailable and they're really emotionally immature because somebody who is a healthy, loving, communicative, open, good partner, potential partner, good partner is going to be considerate of you and your feelings and what matters to you. It doesn't mean that they're going to alter or shift or change who they are, but they are certainly going to consider you. And if it is some kind of behavior or pattern that is hurtful, harmful, then they're going to consider changing it. Okay? It just is, that's just how it is. When you are with somebody who is emotionally mature and open-minded enough to see how they are acting, how they are behaving, and if it is harmful, they're going to take action to shift it, change it. Okay? Another best advice. Love dating relationship. Don't go from relationship to relationship to relationship to relationship to relationship to relationship, looking to fill up your cup of love, of fulfillment, of whatever it is within you that feels like a void or lack that's missing. You will never find it in another, especially if that's what you believe. You know, I've quoted the movie Jerry Maguire many times because Hollywood loves to paint unhealthy patterns of relationships where he said, "You complete me." So not correct. In living a life like that, nobody can complete you. You're already whole. You're already whole. And when you're searching outside of yourself for that person, that relationship, that one, that if you could just meet them, your life would be so much better. If you could just meet that perfect person for you, then you could be happy. Then you can move on. Then you will feel peace. Then whatever it is that you're searching for. When you date from that place, you are dating from not the energy that you actually want to attract because you're dating from a place of what's actually not like yourself, needy, desperate, and extractive. You are convincing yourself that you must have that other person in order to feel love, when all along, love has always been with you. It's never left. You are loved, you are loving, you are lovable. And it starts with you actually first loving yourself. So it kind of goes to that first bit of advice that I gave in the beginning. Be willing to look at your own mind. How do you treat yourself? How do you love yourself? How do you talk to yourself? Many of us have been conditioned in environments that have actually taught us unhealthy love. And so then we grow up with this unhealthy perception of what love is and what love means. And many times we don't really love ourselves. We don't speak kindly to ourselves. We are not our greatest cheerleader. We are not the greatest love of our lives. We're actually our biggest critic. We are often the biggest shit talker who's ever existed to ourself. So again, have the courage to examine that part of you. How am I speaking to myself? At any moment, you can ask yourself this. Any moment, all the moments until eternity. Examine, be willing to see what is there. Again, don't be afraid of it. It's you can't change, you can't shift, you can't transform what you are unable or unwilling to see, to examine, to notice. And it's almost always the thing that we're actually afraid of is the story that we made up about it, not the actual truth of it. So be willing to examine. How do I talk to myself? What kind of relationship do I have with myself? How do I perceive myself? What do I like about myself? What don't I like about myself? What can I improve? What are my greatest attributes? What do I really enjoy about me? And speak to those parts more often. Praise yourself more. Boost yourself up more. This was what actually creates peace, harmony, joy, alignment, fulfillment. You cannot hate yourself, condemn yourself, and then think somehow magically you're going to attract a good partner who's going to love you. The partners that we attract are almost always mirrors of our own inner voice, our own inner beliefs, perceptions, thoughts, attitudes about ourselves. So if you're ruminating in the thoughts of, I'm not good enough, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not deserving enough, I'm not handsome enough, I'm not rich enough, I'm not fill in the blank enough, then you can count on it as sure as the sun will rise and set that you will attract someone who will reflect that back to you. Not because you're bad or wrong, but for you to see, for you to experience your mind in real time so that you can heal that part of you. So that if it's an experience that you no longer want, that no longer feels good, that no longer brings you love, peace, and joy within yourself, that you can see it for your own eyes and then start to change it. It's never actually ever been about them. They are bad. They are wrong. It's the feminist fault. It's the toxic masculine fault. It's the left's fault. It's the right's fault. It's God's fault. It's my ex's fault. It's the parents' fault. It's society's fault. It's never ever been true. But if you keep telling yourself that and you do not allow yourself to go within this mind and this body and to examine your own inner world, you will keep experiencing the same things that you continue to experience that you don't want, and you will blame the world for it. You are the one who's in charge of creating heaven or hell, peace or chaos, love or fear. It's only and ever and always been yours to choose to create. This is the best advice I could ever give anybody for anything in your life. Examine your inner world. What's there that is disempowering? What's there that is of judgment? What's there that is of fear? Change it to those words and feelings of love, of peace, of praise, of kindness, of compassion. And then watch with your own eyes how your little world amongst this big world that we live in, your personal world starts to shift, starts to change. Watch the kind of dates that start to come in when you start to change the way that you think and perceive. You start to change your own mind. Watch the good that starts to happen. And then do me a favor. Send me a message and let me know. Send me an email. Drop it in the comments. Share this, rewatch this, program your own mind with this information. This is the best advice that you will ever get out there for love, dating, and relationships, and really for your whole life. It has been my honor. It has been my pleasure. And until next time, my loves, have a wonderful day.